Charles Creek Vineyard tasting room. We started in 2001, first vintage 2001. And at that time, the wines were only available in a few select retail stores and some good restaurants and online. Around 2005, we decided it's time to put a face to the winery. We found this 1890s storefront right on the Sonoma Plaza, historic part of Sonoma. And in February of 2005, we opened a tasting room. I'm going to pour a Cabernet Sauvignon grown in Rutherford District, Napa Valley. The name La Sonrisa del Tecolote, that would translate as the smile of the owl. Bill's grandmother was nicknamed Owl. That's what she was called in the family. That's what her husband called her. And while she passed on a few years ago, Bill's tribute to his grandmother would be this Cabernet and this line of wines, and his feeling that if Grandma were alive today, and she could taste these wines, might get a pretty nice smile from her.
The idea of being out and taking a product, growing it, making it, loving it, passionately bottling it, and then putting it out to share with our friends. And that's how the vision got started.
Both of us have a background in sort of agricultural history. Bill's family being part of John Deere's family. I grew up in Iowa. Being close to the land is a piece of who we are and what we are.
Fine wine is really like a fine recipe. It takes many ingredients. It takes lots of care, lots of passion, and commitment to getting it just right.
And I think Bill and our winemaker, Carrie, have almost too good a time trying to get those flavors and tastes and structure just right. But then they have enough sense to go back the next day and really test it to make sure they were right after all those sample tastes that they take.
Exactly.
My goal is really to make wines that reflect a place, a site, but ultimately have this yummy factor and have just that really tastes good. That sounds like it's easy to do, but Bill and I spend a fair amount of time in this laboratory.
The next blend that Carrie's prepared is, we call it Base Plus, which is his little bit of magical alchemy, and we're now tasting that, and we're going to see how this kind of stands up.
Well, the first thing I look for is, did it change? It didn't change the color, and so does it change the nose? And there's a slight change to the aroma.
What you do is, when you taste wine, you usually are pairing it with foods of some kind, and so it has to be structured in such a way, have just enough acidity and flavor to complement the foods that you've chosen that evening or that day to consume with it.
Yeah, I would agree. Ultimately, I think, well, the aroma is very important. Ultimately, and this is what Bill and I spend so much time on all the wines that we blend and make. We really spend a lot of time just on palate and texture and taste.
Cheers to you once again. The magician has done it again and made a wonderful wine, and he's blended them all together. And I think this is probably the blend that we're going to put into the bottle, or something close to it.